sheet and then click on your character's token. That will, if you have beyond 20, that should populate your health stat.
Ac-
Oh, wait.
According to what I see on her on World 20, it looks like it's populated.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, it is.
Dad, then that's your fault, Dad. You don't have it shown to all players.
All right. Dad doesn't know what the hell he's doing. No problem.
You're distracted.
There, you happy?
Yes,
There
I'm
we go.
happy.
I have the least health. I have 7.
Yes, you're a
I mean,
sorcerer.
you're a sorcerer. You're a squishy baby.
This is true.
And you know, if Tyler's name gets annoying, it might just suddenly disappear from underneath his character.
It's just, it was such a big thing in the first one that I had to do another long one. So.
Of course.
Just do the first name.
Wait, Tyler, how do you pronounce that?
Yeah, how do you try to pronounce that?
That's for me to know and you to figure out.
Oh, it's like Spock's
Oh,
it's like
geez.
Spock's real name. It's impronounceable.
Hmm.
Going a little Star Trek lore there. His real name is impronounceable, his Vulcan name. Or so they claimed
Yeah.
in the original series.
Just like how the last one you figured out just a nickname to call me by, that's what's gonna happen here too. So
We'll call you Birdman. I don't know. We'll figure
perfect.
something out.
Oh,
Birdman.
my character already has a name for your character.
Oh,
Oh dear.
All of us
Okay,
out there who
sure.
were just funny Birdman.
All right. So to get back to where I was. So where I don't even know where I was. I was somewhere over somewhere. 1 second. Um so okay, sure. So I put in the adventure, the high 20,000 foot background, right?
Mhm.
So if you look on the map in roll 20, right, you
Mhm.
are in the town of Bernshander. Yep, there you go. Right. So that is the biggest town of what is called 10 towns, right? So this is, you know, basically the above the spine of the world if you're into the maps that exist for D&D, right? So this is pretty far up north. So so these 10 towns kind of work together to survive up in the wilderness. As you read in the description, just to kind of recap a little bit, right? Um this area has been under perpetual winter for the last 2 years. And every night, uh, ba- basically the locals believe that they blame Ariel for this shimmering aurora that goes over the whole area, right? And this shimmering aurora keeps it such that the sun never shines on this area. So at best, this area is always under dim lighting. There's never bright light, even in the outdoors. Um, the temperature on a good day is probably minus 40, give or take, right?
Ooh.
So
on a good
it's pretty cold. It's pretty cold, right? And these towns are trying to basically hold on, and as a side note, anything they could do to try and make this stop would obviously be good. They need summer. This area is only going to last so long without any summer, I should say. So just to read, a quick box description here. Icewind Dale has become trapped in a perpetual winter. Ferocious blizzards make the mountain pass through the spine of the world, exceedingly treacherous, and this land has not felt the warmth of the sun in 2 years. In fact, the sun no longer appears above the mountains, not even on what should be the height of summer. In this frozen tundra, darkness and bitter cold reign as king and queen. Most Dale residents blame Ariel the Frostmaiden for the god of winter's wrath. The shimmering aurora that weaves across the sky each night is said to be her doing, a potent spell that keeps the sun at bay. Dale folk live in a scattering of settlements known as 10 towns. The drop off in the caravans coming from the south and travel between the settlements in this never ending winter has left everyone feeling isolated. This is actually pretty good considering we're in a pandemic. It kind of draws a parallel. Although each town has resolved to appease the Frost Maiden with sacrifices of one kind or another, no respite from winter's fury seems to be forthcoming. For adventurers such as yourselves, 10 Towns is a place that tests one's mettle and, in the spirit of heroes who have come before, leave one's mark on this frigid, blighted land. So, because this place is so isolated, right? I mean, there's in terms of shops or stuff like that, I mean, there's obviously some, right? But it just doesn't get the travel that a lot of other places get, right? Because it's out, on a good day, it was out from civilization quite a bit, right? Now that it's always cold and winter, it makes it harder to transverse. It's even more isolated than it was before. But by the same token, there's a lot of, we'll say, strange characters about, like yourselves, right? So you don't really attract tons of attention because it's not too uncommon for if someone's trying to hide from the authorities or some other group or whatever it might be, it's not a bad place to do it, right?
Fair enough.
So it kind of is what it is. So with that being said, why don't you guys take a few minutes and um, introduce your characters and whatever background you want to give, and we'll go from there. I don't care who leads off. Go for it.
I'll go first. My character's name is Alavnek of House Waveguard. He he's from essentially a family of minotaurs who are both guards and shipwrights. They typically work on ships fair or foul, associated with the government or pirates, working as shipwrights but also defending the ships from invaders. And he's looking for something interesting to do.
Cool.
Yeah.
Who's next?
I'll go next. I'm the Looker. I live in the forest not far from here, a little bit to the south. But the ecosystem and thus my hunting has become disrupted by the cold. And this frost maiden that I hear of must be stopped.
Okay. I can call names if necessary. Who wants to go next?
I can go next. So my character is Sterling Hertzworth, and she's a paladin, and she comes from a family that lived in the area before it was overtaken, like, by the cold, and they sent her away to somewhere better, but now she's back, and she's trying to find her family and also hopefully free them from the wrath of the Frost Maiden.
Okay.
All right, I can go next. Krakus Krukok Heketh. Remember that. I'm from
No,
a
I don't
faraway
think I
town,
will.
left there on my own, always looking for adventure.
Okay.
I
I
can
will
go
call this
next.
one chicken.
Go ahead,
Perfect.
My
TikTok.
character
Thunder
is
TikTok.
TikTok, the Kenku sorcerer. And basically, his shtick is that he's crazy. He is a sort. He was his he shares the power that his father had. Basically, he can harness the power of Mechanicus, which is a different thing. And basically, he got obsessed with it, and now has an obsession with building clocks and anything related to clocks. And he came here to try and sell and buy some pieces for clocks or merchandise. And he got kind of stuck here because of how cold it is, and he wants to solve that.
You're sure he's not doing dances with music in the background?
Probably not. Maybe.
Probably not.
Can't confirm that. Would not.
Does he
Yeah.
happen
Just
to know
making sure. Just
someone
making sure.
named Kesha?
Wow.
Wow. Impressive.
Anyway,
I like that. Very good.
Well, if Icewind Dale, if Dale up here is sort of a haven for outlaws and exiles, then I think Densmore is in exactly the right place. He was a member of he's a cleric. He was a member a of a sort of church, but he, for some reason or another, has been excommunicated and exiled. He's
Oh.
he's run up here with taking whatever skills and equipment he could, just looking for some salvation. He's not found it, obviously, considering it's been winter here for the past 2 years.
Okay. So, okay. So with that being said, so as on a side note before I get going, I know only 2 of you have dark vision, right? So for the rest of you, if we ever get to a spot, and I'm sure we will, where there's no light, let me know what you're doing. Are you doing a torch? Do you have a spell or something like that?
Oh, don't worry,
Yeah.
guys. I have the cantrip light.
Okay.
Oh, that's very
Well,
helpful.
Well, that will help
that's what
you.
I was
I have
right?
I have the
Don't
cantrip
worry.
produce flame.
I will solve that problem when I get to 3rd level.
Okay,
Not
that's
the best
fair enough.
solution.
That's fair enough. So
Yeah.
as we're going on, right? Just keep in mind for those of you who have light sources and those of you who don't, some of you might have to stick together or you're not going to see anything. Unless you're all
Yeah,
going
I'm
to
gonna have to stick together with someone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do I have dark vision? I don't think I do.
Kenkus don't, no.
Nope.
You might want to pick that spell up.
Nope. It's
Yeah.
just Densmar and Sterling.
Yeah.
Oh, right, I do. I have that, and I also have dancing lights. That's
Yes, the best light spell.
Okay.
Anyway,
So let's get started. So we're gonna say, for now, you're 1 second. Let me get the name of the place. 1 second. So I can show you. Let me just let me just grab you folks, and I'm gonna switch maps. Right. So I'm just gonna grab you all, and god dang it, figures. Let's do this. Move you guys down a little bit so I can do a copy paste. Copy and did I get you all? 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me do it again. I think some of you got cut off. There we go.
ooh,
There you go.
that's a lot of city.
Yeah, this is the biggest city of 10 Downs for sure, right? Obviously, it's a walled city. It's about 1,200 people strong, give or take. Um, because it's such a the biggest place and the first place that people go to when they come to this area, it is probably, we'll say, I think, if I remember correctly. So, Densmar, you've been here for a while, correct?
Yep.
Okay, fair enough. So you know that this is probably one of the more friendlier places, in the area. Other towns, they might be more suspicious of strangers or people they don't know, right? Being smaller communities and so forth. But with this being kind of the center of commerce, they're used to a lot of people being here, and they are probably as friendly as any other trading town as you would see, normally further down south, right? Um, the leader's name who speaks for the townsfolk. I'll put her name here in the chat just for giggles. Leader of Burn Shander.
Is that a shame?
Right. She's relatively young for being the head of the council that runs this town, but she does a pretty decent job of it, right? Um, Travel from this place to other places, right? If you do it by foot, we'll get to that as time goes on. It depends what you're trying to do. Like if you went back to the original map, saw there are some rough pathways that's been snowed in between the different towns. But if you want to kind of go across the tundra and, so we say, quote unquote, skip towns, you can do that. You don't have to take the path most trodden, but
Mhm.
you can if you want to, right? Um, let's see what else is in this town that you might want to know about. Um, the town hall is, roughly this big building here, right? Kind of
Mhm.
towards the center, that little kind of like an H looking building is the town hall. Um, Also nearby of that is the let's see. I just want to get the name of the town in. Is what's called Northlook. Let me see if I can find that. Is it marked on the map? Yeah. So Northlook is kind of like right by the northern gate here, right, kind of above the Minotaur's head there,
All right.
right, and that's where you are now, right. So you know, it's probably the rowdiest and more dangerous place to stay in the town, but at the same time, the tap room is probably the best spot to find profitable ventures, along with the latest rumors and news and so forth, right? Um, so a lot of mercenaries, adventurers, they come in and out. Um, the inn's proprietor, right? He's
Mhm.
pretty friendly towards adventurers. He was one himself before he opened up his inn. Um, Probably the most I guess interesting feature of the tavern is a fish that's on the wall that's been stuffed. What that is called Old Bitey, and
Ah.
I'll give you a quick picture of him in Discord. There you go. There's Old Bitey,
Oh.
Ooh.
That's a big fish.
That's
and
not the fish.
yep, Old Bitey is a knucklehead trout, which is pretty common for places that haven't quite frozen over
Mhm.
where there's water. Um, so this is a particular big fish that was pulled in some years ago, and
Mhm.
the proprietor of the area of the tavern bought him and had him stuffed, and some mischievous wizard
Mhm.
cast a spell on Old Buddy, and uh, if someone comes too close to him, he kind of turns his head and tries to bite him.
Ah.
And at random times, um, he kind of sings a little song that goes, "There's a place I like to go, farther up the river's flow. Where it is, I do not know. It must be under all that snow."
Ooh. Neat.
And that's old Bitey.
That's old Bitey.
It is.
You got one of those things. Oh god.
All good. So,
Remember how this-
just to switch screens here real quick. Um. Okay. Whoop. 1 second. I switched screens before I should have switched screens. So, I don't know how much all of you know each other. It doesn't sound like any of you particularly know each other from your past, but that's fine.
Nope.
So, we're going to say that coincidence, fate, whatever it might be in a lot of these
Mhm.
types of adventures, have you all in the tavern at the same time because, you're there with other random people looking for things to do to make a bit of coin. Um, as you're enjoying whatever your drink of choice is, um, three stocky figures, bundled in cold weather garb, stumble towards you. Um, you guys will say just by random chance all have to happen to be in the same part of the bar, right? And
Mhm.
they have their snowshoes slung over their backs and ice picks fastened to their belts, and two of them have thick beards. Um, the third holds up a gloved hand, and through a thick wool scarf and raspy voice, he says, "Well met. I'm Hundra, and these are my friends, Corvux and Storn. We need your help, and you look capable."
I am here for that. I'm here for this adventure. What have you got?
What have you got? Um, so, okay, so, um, the main dwarf, right, is a female. Her voice is kind of raspy by years of smoking, which I don't
Ah.
smoke, so I can't quite make that sound. So at any rate, um, she says, "We're survivors of a group of dwarves tasked with delivering a sled of iron ingots to Burn Shander. A Yeti surprised us and killed a member of our group. The rest of us fled as the Yeti tore poor Umbach limb from limb. Now we
Ooh.
need someone to go back and get the sled for us. As payment, we offer you each a gemstone worth 50 gold pieces. The friendship of the dwarves of Icewind Dale can also be a boon in these harsh times. You'll need snowshoes to make the trip in good time."
You got some?
Sure. She has some extra ones. She can dole out some snowshoes.
Oh. Anyone else want to go on this lovely adventure with me?
I would like in. This Yeti sounds like good food. Should we come across it?
Yes,
go.
I'll come as well.
You know what?
How
I
about
You
you
say you
two?
have you say you have gemstones, but do you have any parts of like a clock?
Well, I need a way. I need some
We
time
could
to
You
try to
could
procure
use the
some for you
gemstones
if
to
that would
buy
make you
it.
happy.
I would greatly prefer that instead. If you can get me that, I will gladly help you out.
The dwarves
All
kind of
right.
look back and forth of each other, and they said, clocks, got it. Sure, we can get you a clock."
Yes, thank you, thank you.
And you, other avian fellow, how about you? Would you like to join?
The chicken in the corner.
Yes, you,
Oh,
chicken in
I
the
need a
corner.
name.
They
Uh,
don't know you're. I guess they do. I don't
Yeah.
know.
mm, I guess if I can get money out of it, I'll go. Or gemstones,
Yeah, let's
anything
go.
like that, I'll go.
Yeah. To adventure!
Okay, so going back to the main map for a second, or the bigger map. So basically, the dwarves tell you to go northeast-ish, right? She kind of points to Kelvin's Cairn, the mountain out in the distance, right? And said, we were going towards the Dwarven Valley in that direction. So if you cut over the tundra, um, you should be able to find the sled.
All right then.
And
Indeed.
she says, "Good
I
luck.
suppose we should set off.
We'll be waiting here for the sled with your gems, and we'll find a clock."
Good, good.
Wishing
All
you
right
luck
then,
of
fellows.
Eat this.
wishing you the
Let's-
luck of the stars for your other endeavors.
Thank you.
Let's slap on some snowshoes and get going.
Okay. So as you head out towards your way, and 1 second, I gotta grab me a dice here. It's all the rattling you hear in the background from my bowl of never-ending dice. A blizzard rolls in, reducing visibility to about 20 feet. The mountain itself, Kelvin's Cairn, vanishes from view as the blowing snow and howling winds engulf you. So, yeah, you're in a blizzard. Howling winds and whatever it might be. So lots of snow, obviously. Do you try to continue, or do you want to try and wait the storm out?
How far are we into the walk?
So I would say, let's see, it's been we'll say it's been maybe a couple of hours, give or take. So I would say that you are roughly, let me see what kind of time you make in this kind of weather. So I would say before the weather hit, I should say. You probably give or take about a mile from the town. But it takes a long time to trudge through the snow. You can only make about a half a mile per hour. So, because there's a lot of snow up here.
We're about
Yeah.
halfway through then. How cold is it, roughly? Is it like pretty bad?
Ooh, yeah, we
'Cause
hardly.
I think if we can,
Yeah,
if we
I
can-
mean, on a good
minus-
day, I said it was like around minus
Yeah.
40 or so. You got maybe now it, minus 55, minus 60 plus wind chill. And it's pretty cold. But you do have your snow equipment, right?
Yeah.
So, that's enough to keep you okay. It is really hard to see, but beyond that, this equipment that you each have is made to get you through this environment.
I'd say we should probably head back and maybe try out the east way instead of trudging straight across this field. I don't think we're able to get anywhere.
If we're already 2 hours in, it'd be 2 hours just to get back rather than the 2 hours to just finish.
Oh, I thought we were like a mile in, right?
Yeah, you're a mile
but he
in,
said
but
half a mile every hour. So,
yeah.
I mean, I guess.
and he said we got 1 more mile to go, so we might as well
we
finish
got-
it rather than head back.
Yeah, we got like 7 miles to go.
No, we're not going all the way there.
Oh, we're
Yeah.
not.
You're not going all the way there.
It's just a bit out of town.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It's like around here.
Hmm.
We should. I think we should continue. The weather cannot be
I
relied
think
on
we
in
should
this
continue
place.
as well.
Yeah.
We're close enough already.
Um,
Be fine.
Sterling is gonna ask if there's if anyone has a way to produce fire in some way, because that might help us get through the snow a little bit if we can melt at least a little bit before us.
Noted.
Indeed. I use the cantrip produce flame. I have a flame in my hand now. It makes
Okay.
things a bit easier to see, and it's warm.
Sterling is
need-
gonna take a step closer to the fire.
I need someone who's going to be the navigator. Who's
Ooh,
going to
can be-
try?
I can be the navigator.
I mean, he has the light.
My background is Outlander, so I apparently have good memory for maps and geography.
ooh,
Oh.
Nice.
and
Let me see if I can do anything. Hold up. No, I'm just a smuggler.
Nice.
I smuggle in clock pieces.
You smuggle in clock pieces.
Oh
Okay.
my god.
Anyone else?
I mean,
Um,
Sterling can help with like noticing like things in the distance since she has dark vision.
I got nothing. I've just got a good attitude.
Okay.
I have an optimistic attitude, and I'm good at ships.
Cough, cough. I
Okay.
have +5 to survival, +5 to perception, and +3 to nature.
Ah, yes, you seem
Yeah.
like you're good at leading the way.
All my bonuses are
all I
either
have is I have a +5 in perception, but that's about it. So
I
he
have-
already has that. He should probably do it.
I have +5s in deception, persuasion, and stealth, and sleight of hand.
I've got a +5 in athletics if we need to move something.
I'm just saying,
pretty
if we
helpful.
ever come across any magic, I'll probably be your guy, but I'm not good for much else.
Oh, I actually have
You're
a +3 to
honest.
survival too if we need someone else.
I also have a +2 in survival.
Ooh, nice.
The DM pokes the ranger to look at his features and traits character sheet.
I'm literally reading it.
Okay.
We have a ranger? The bird's a
Yeah.
ranger? Dude,
Yeah.
Oh
lead
yeah, he's
the
a
way.
ranger.
Redman's a
This is
ranger.
your shit.
I am a natural explorer. So
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
all right, I know how to read. Okay.
I was just,
Actually, yeah, while traveling for an hour or more in your chosen terrain, difficult terrain doesn't slow your group's travel. Perfect.
Oh. Wow.
That's very helpful and very
Yeah.
That is very
Yeah.
helpful.
pertinent for the
Step
current
aside.
situation, considering you chose
Wow.
Arctic,
Think
didn't you?
about how nice that would be.
Didn't you choose Arctic as well, which it works out.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
So
we can't become
convenient.
lost.
Nice.
It's very
Okay.
helpful.
What a handy guy to have around.
I know.
Wow. Mr. Quacris Kurek Heck.
You'll figure it out. Don't worry.
I'm just gonna join the
I
join the
thought-
lizard man over here. I'll just call you Chicken Man.
I thought Vangeletsky was bad.
Yeah.
Jeez.
It still is pretty bad. I can say it, I can't spell it.
There you go. Well, my wife loves me. She took the name.
Yeah.
So, yeah, all good. So, I'll say to the Q bird, for lack of a better way of putting it.
Just call me Q. We'll go with that.
We'll call you Q. Oh Christ!
Yeah.
Now I'm getting more Star Trek flashbacks. So Q,
James Bond.
based on your experience in things like this,
Yeah.
it would probably be a good idea that you tie a rope around each other, or at least have something that you could all hold on to, right? Because in blizzards like this, your experience from this Arctic is people can still become separated, and then you got to go find them.
Yeah. I do have 50 feet of rope.
Yeah,
all
I
have
also
You can use
have
that.
Feet of Rope as
I
well.
think we all have rope.
Yeah.
We are, bro.
Ah,
That's pretty good.
All right, well, let's use some rope then.
All
I
right,
will
then.
lead the way.
let us tie ourselves together then. Who's good at tying things?
Probably
I
the
am not.
Really? The guy who lives on a ship doesn't know how to tie a knot?
That's not a skill I get for some reason.
What do you mean? That's okay.
I get survival and athletics.
For some
Okay.
reason.
All good.
I do not get knot tying. I get a +1 to knot tying.
You get a +1 to knot tying. Okay, the DM
Mhm.
isn't judging. I just
Hey,
figured that was-
Kenku with the +5 to sleight of hand.
Yeah. Does sleight of hand help me like tie things
Tie
together?
knots. That is in fact the knot tying skill.
Oh. I guess I could. I didn't realize that sleight of hand was for tying knots, but yeah,
Me
sure,
Well,
I
I
can
have
do
a
that.
+3 in that.
So should I roll for that?
Indeed,
Yeah.
sleight of hand does more things than just allow you to pickpocket.
Sleight of
I
hand
will.
is
I will. How many rolls for the shed? You just won.
Um, I presume you guys know how to tie a knot. I mean,
Yeah, I think.
yeah. But what if
Yeah.
like a Yeti sneaks up and tries to steal someone?
well, if the Yeti comes up and actually does something, then that might be a different thing. But if you can certainly wrap your hand around the rope or tie an easy knot, or I mean,
Okay.
I'm not gonna sit here and say you unsuccessfully tied a knot and somehow like figure it out. I'm not that mean of a DM. I
I got
hope.
an 18 with my +5.
Ah. Well, we're definitely tied together good.
All right, fair enough. What? Oh, interesting. Who cares? Sorry, Sixers news came to my watch. Um, okay. So we're gonna say that, based on Q's experience in this kind of climate, you're able to make surprising time through this blizzard, and he can keep you on track on where you wanted to go. Um, After maybe another hour or so, um, you crest over a snow-covered ridge and see a frozen, dismembered corpse in the gully in front of you.
Oh.
Snow covers some of the gory bits, but the headless torso and severed limbs are visible.
Ooh.
You see
Lovely.
tracks in the snow that, are slowly fading because of the storm, and telltale grooves left behind in a sled that's been hauled away. So,
Oh no.
you know, Q can certainly pick out where the sled is going just based on this. You should probably keep moving so you can try and catch it. Because if you stay here, I mean, the snow's been going on now for a little while, so um, you got like maybe a little bit longer before it peters out. Um, the dwarf is probably the poor guy who got eaten by the Yeti earlier. Um, he ate his arms and his head isn't anywhere to be seen, so I guess he took it with him. Um,
Oh.
most of his
That's
internal
fine.
organs are gone too, but yeah,
Oh.
Mm.
Rip.
That's what's left.
Tasty.
Uh,
Yeah, he was
It
here.
seems that our job has been taken with this Yeti.
Didn't think I'd be
I-
chasing
We
I
Yeti.
could
presume
go
we should-
find it.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
I think we should keep going.
Didn't
Agreed.
think I'd be chasing down a Yeti.
Too far
Onward.
to turn
Yep.
back now. So if I can see where it's headed, then let's follow that.
Sounds like a plan. So what we're going to say is that after maybe another hour or so, the storm is starting to let up, so you're starting to get some visibility back, right?
Mhm.
And you can see about 120 feet ahead of you. You can see the creatures you've been following appear to be goblins, just based on the stature. Um,
Ah.
all six of them grunt and groan and curse loudly as they try to move this bulky sled towards what appears to be a 20-foot tall wagon parked in the snow. Harnessed to this conveyance are two roaring polar bears that don't look too happy.
Mm.
So just give me a second here. Da, 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 da. And I gotta say one thing about Ice Maiden. It is like one of the easiest things to draw maps for because dang it, it's all white.
Oh boy, that's a lot of white.
It's a
Oh
lot of
wow.
white. I threw a bunch of stuff on there, but you are about 120 feet back from these guys. Um,
Can we
they
see them?
you can see them.
Okay.
You can see the wagon as well. So the wagon is another bit of distance between here and there. They do not see you. They're too busy um, trying to push this sled full of junk through the snow. Well, it's not junk, but stuff through the snow.
Mm.
Huh.
Well, I
Where are we? Oh wait, what?
You're at the very
At the
bottom of the
bottom.
map.
Okay, yeah, it's a big map.
I don't think we should try to attack them at first. Maybe if we ask nicely with Sterling's
Okay.
+5 to intimidation, maybe they will give it back without a fight.
You
Well, I mean,
can
I've-
go ask, and
mean,
I
I'm
will be
quite-
hiding behind something
I
waiting
am
to
quite good
shoot
at
them.
persuasion. I have a +5 in that. We could hopefully do this without, forcing their hand.
I got
Yes.
a +1 to persuasion. I have a
Mm.
-1 in
Persuasion is my
charisma.
specialty.
They look like
Huh?
good food.
Well, I'm just gonna stay behind. I have a +5 in stealth, so I'm gonna.
It
Sneak
seems we have
around.
very
Yeah, how
different
about-
opinions
Because if
from
I gotta
goblins.
shoot him, I'm not gonna hold back.
Yeah, you can sneak around just in case things go south.
Good idea.
Maybe literally.
We
I
must
will
catch up to
stand
them.
there and look scary. If I try to be scary, it will not work.
Okay.
A for effort.
A for effort.
Let us go, charismatic friends.
So
Uh,
some people are staying back, some people are going. That's what I'm hearing.
I think that we should go.
Yeah, well, I think Q is being sneaky.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to. Are these like these things that are on the map like tall enough to like hide behind? Like-
Maybe the
Look.
tree you can hide behind. Sure. I mean, the rest of
Okay.
the rest of the stuff, I just threw some that looked like snowdrifts, just so the
Okay.
entire thing isn't white.
Well, yeah,
But
I don't need to
didn't
get.
spend tons of time on this. Just to
I
try.
don't need to get super close because my bow has pretty long range. So
Well, you can get to
Oh.
behind that tree over here to the northeast if you want, and stick behind that. That's fine.
yeah,
Or if
I'll
there's
do
somewhere
that.
else you want to get to, I don't know. But
Or this tree.
otherwise, yeah,
Either tree. I'll just get behind one of them.
pick a tree. It's fine. I'll say
I'll
you
go.
get there before these guys call out. That's
All
you can
right.
set yourself up there.
Should I move? All right, I'll go.
Yeah, move
here.
your guy where you want to put him. That's fine. Because I mean, it is there's not a lot of features out here. It's been snowing for the better part of 2 years.
You are also very fast.
Hume.
Yeah. Well,
Alright,
I
so-
can fly, so
That's
Yeah,
Ah.
you have like a 50-foot fly speed. You're crazy
yeah.
fast.
Well, that's kind of
And I'm sneaky, so it works out pretty nice.
That is nice.
there you go.
All right.
So
let
the
us
rest
go
of
then.
you are gonna call out and go talk to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, that's a good plan.
Let us go, friends.
So you call out and they stop, right? There's
Mhm.
also a goblin leader who is on top of this cart with the polar bears, and he starts walking towards you guys as well.
Okay. So can they hear us from this distance?
The snow is let up, so sure. I mean, they're roughly what from that distance, maybe 60 feet away. It's not too far.
Okay. So Sterling is going to step forward, and she is going to say, "You there! I ask you to please release release that sled. We know the owners, and they have sent us to return it. It is not yours, so we kindly ask you to return it." And she is like she looks to be about almost like 6 foot tall, like, wearing like chainmail, kind of scary looking, kind of like buff. And she is very serious in what she says. So can I roll intimidation?
Sure, you're going for intimidation. Go for it.
Sure.
Not too shabby. Let me do something here. Boop. Thank you. Boop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop. Let me just do this. So the goblins definitely stop. Let's see. The goblin leader. Okay. The goblin leader calls out. He says, he's like, "We found this on the tundra. It is ours. Are you willing to trade for it?"
Hmm. I mean,
TikTok should try persuading them.
yeah.
We don't exactly have much to give up here.
Yeah, that's why I said that.
And I'm not sure if they will let it up.
I don't think he's
either.
listening. That's okay.
I don't think they will let it up. Very
Yo,
nicely
TikTok.
either.
Jason.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
People are talking to
You
you.
need to be persuasive.
You persuade them.
To
Oh,
To
yeah. I
give
can
it
do
up.
that. Sorry. All right. Look, here's the deal. All right. When it comes down to it, that stuff doesn't really belong to you. It has rightful owners, people who need that more than you do. So if you give it over, we won't hurt you.
I believe that's called an intimidation
That was
check.
intimidation. but
No,
Not
Say
persuasion.
something. Say something about the guy who died next to it, and the least you could do is give it back to the owners.
Yeah, the guy who had that, he died. Yeah.
No,
Oh my
other people.
Oh.
Well, if he's
And
dead,
then-
then he doesn't need it back, does he?
No, but it's like a memorial,
It's a memorial.
Dude,
Why
nice
don't you
one.
spin? All right, go spin your persuasion. Go for it.
If you can call that persuasion.
You could call that persuasion.
Mm.
10 feels about right. So the goblin boss, I mean, he looks pretty miserable. He's like, we'll consider trading it for some food or any warm clothes that you might be able to give up.
Have you seen a Yeti around here?
We live here. We see lots of Yetis.
Well, I think there's one nearby. Why don't we all band together and kill it together? And then you can have it to eat.
Use the fur.
And use the fur.
that
Right.
could work. Yeah.
We'll have ourselves a nice hunting party against all of us. Wait, how many of us are there? 6,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
7. Against all 11 of us, the Yeti will have no chance, and you can have the whole thing.
Let's see.
Isn't there 12? Because there's 6 guys on this sled, the one dude in the middle, and then the 5 of us.
There is, right?
Oh,
We don't. We
I think it's
don't.
Um,
13. Aw.
13 is what I got. Because 7 of them, and then 6
And
of us.
5 of us.
No,
There's
there's
5
6 of us.
There's 5 of
6.
us.
There's
Six.
6 of us.
There's 5 of us. Remember?
There's
Oh, okay.
6
There's
of
5 of us. Wait.
The ranger can't say anything.
Well,
The
yeah.
ranger's not here right now.
Okay, but I thought you were just asking. Whatever. Okay, 12 of us.
he says, 1 second. He says, well, he's like, we don't need to mess. I mean, we're happy with just food. He's like, we're happy just with some food, and we'll give you the sled. We just want to go back. And he says, besides, there's a number of Yeti families in the area, and we might end up fighting more than one if we went down that path.
We can afford to give them some food. We will not go hungry.
I guess suppose, especially considering that reward that we're gonna get.
Yeah, I think we can give them some food because when I'm exploring, I find twice as much food while foraging and tracking. So
That would be nice.
we should be fine.
There
If
is a
we
nice
give them
spell
some
that
food.
allows me to make food.
Even better. So
Yes,
It's a
Marcus.
way to one up me there, dude.
I don't have it prepared right now because I figured I'd just like prepare it when I get to second level. But
I mean, you could just prepare it on a long rest.
I can just prepare it on the long rest if I need to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mark has
Good
discovered
plan.
good berries.
I have discovered good berry.
The goblin is like, fine. He's like, this is a miserable land, and if you can give us some good food to actually eat, you can't eat rocks. You can have this sled.
Should we give them food?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
got
sure.
some
Let's
food
give
to
If we
them
spare,
can do
right?
it peacefully, we should try.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
do it.
Okay. The
I'm
goblins
still staying over here so they don't see me.
the goblins look at you, they take the food, and the goblin leader says, "Okay." And he signals to his goblin buddies, and they head towards the polar bear contraption up north. Let me kind of grab them, and they let you guys have the sled.
I would
Pleasure
assume the
doing
polar
business with
bears are
you.
not included.
Polar bears are not included as his polar bears. They use them as beasts of burden.
Gotcha.
Well, pleasure doing business with you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
We'll be going now.
Okay,
Are
so
all of many kinds.
I mean, it's a pretty big sled. So the sled weighs probably 300 pounds, and the iron on the sled is probably triples the weight. It's another extra 600 on top of that. So between you guys, you can definitely move it, right? But you're gonna have to push it through the snow. Takes some time. It's hard work, but certainly by the end of the day, you
Mhm.
get it back to the main town, and the dwarfs are happy. Do you collect what's left of their friend along the way? You just bury him in the snow, or
Hmm.
Hmm.
I
am not
mean, there's not much left. We should probably just bury it. But
Yeah.
We can tell them that we buried
I mean,
him.
what are we gonna salvage? Like his torso? Like
I was just
Edible.
asking. Yeah, there's not much
Yeah.
left of them, and you can certainly convey that, and they're fine with that.
Mhm.
So they each of you get a gem worth 50 gold. Um,
Huzzah!
the
Huzzah.
the TikTok, you get a very nice clock. That's probably worth about the same. They got your really nice, one of the nicest clocks they could find in town.
It's very awesome.
There you
I'm
go.
happy.
And
I thought
they'll
you'd be
give
more
you
excited.
they'll also give you an extra 10 gold as well. So we'll say the clock's worth 40, and they give you an extra 10 gold on top.
Good. I can buy more clock hands with this gold.
Is there an item that we should add, or should we just add like 50 gold pieces?
50 gold pieces is fine.
Okay. Uh,
Yay.
where do you track your money besides notes?
There's a little
Um,
money
equipment.
section.
There is a
Equipment.
money
Yeah,
section. Go
equipment.
into your equipment, and I believe it's towards the
Currency.
middle
Just click on
right.
currency.
Middle
Equipment.
right. Oh,
You have
currency.
currency. Yep.
Where?
Equipment.
Equipment.
Inventory?
No, it's like above the search item names, types, rarities, etc. It's above
sounds-
manage equipment.
Oh, so 50 gold.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah.
Got it.
Hmm.
Cool.
So, you get back to the town. Get back to we'll say they meet you basically at the same pub that you first met at, right? So you go, yes, you park the sled outside. They thank you. They give you, your gems and a clock, and they head off, right? As they leave, um, another more elderly dwarf sits down next to you, right? Um, And she comes to talk to you, and she says, you know, I've been looking for another group of adventurers to help me out. She says, I used to do this business myself. But the years have caught up to me, and I have some work for able-bodied people like yourselves. She
We seem to
says,
make a good team.
Like close to my death. What do you mean able-bodied? Even I can realize my age wears me down.
Wait, how old is he?
Yeah, how old are you?
He's in like his I would check actually exactly what his age is. He is 49, but Kenku's die around 60.
Oh,
Dude, my lifespan is 30 years.
So on average,
I
I'm like
die
11
so
years.
fast.
On average, I'm like 11 years from death on average.
I
Oh
got-
my.
I only got like 20. I'm 10 years old. I only got 20 left.
Hmm.
so the dwarf's name is Hin Trollbane.
Huh.
I'll put it in the
Ooh.
chat here. And
Trolls.
Trollbane, right? So she's a dwarf.
Yes. Get to fight some trolls.
And she says, I need your help in an investigation. She says, over the past month or so, there has been 3 cold-blooded murders that have been committed
Oh no.
in 10 towns. She
Oh.
says
Oh.
each one was in a different town. She said there was a halfling trapper in East Haven, a human shipbuilder in Targos, and yeah, that hurts the Minotaur. And 3 days ago, a dwarf glassblower in this town of Burn Shander. 1 second. Each victim was found with a dagger of ice through the heart.
Oh.
Mm.
And she says the authorities don't really seem to care, but I've lived here for a number of years, and I want to try and help the town where I can. She says the connection may be that each one of these towns are towns that have been doing human sacrifices to Ariel, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she basically says there's a small traveling company called Torgs, owned and operated by a shady dwarf named Torga Ice Velin? Oh, whatever. We'll say Torga, right? And this one person I've been following around is Torga's bodyguard. He's probably good with a blade. His name is Sefek. I'll cut and paste this into the thing. He says his victims come from the only 3 towns that sacrifice people, and this merchant company was in the town when the murders happened. He's wondering if maybe the victims had found a way to keep their names out of the drawings that happen to see who gets sacrificed, and maybe, just maybe, Zeflek is doing the Frostmaiden's work. That they are paying someone off to make sure they don't get killed, and he goes around and kills people. He says, I followed Torg for a 10-day as they moved from town to town. Quite a devious little enterprise, but that's not my concern. What struck me is how comfortable this bodyguard looked in this weather. No coat, no scarf, no gloves. It was like the cold couldn't touch him. Kiss of the Frost Maiden indeed. I will pay you each 100 gold pieces to apprehend him, ascertain his guilt, and deal with him preferably without involving the authorities. When the job is done, return to me to collect your money. I will pay each of you 100 gold pieces.
I can agree to this.
I like the sound of that.
This
Yeah,
hamper,
it
I
doesn't
to
sound like a good
agree.
deal.
hamper
last-
the
for
frost
100 gold.
to hamper the Frostmaiden is a help to me.
The last place I heard of where he was in the town of Bremen to the north. And that's probably where you should go next. And at that point, I got to call my boss. So I'll ping you guys in like a half hour, let you know what's going on, whether I can continue or not. If not, then we'll figure out another day. If so, then we'll continue in about 3 o'clock or a little bit after.
Alrighty.
Cool.
All right.
Alright.
Talk
Okay,
to you
cool.
shortly. Thanks.
Talk to
Cool.
you shortly.
Talk to you.
I'm gonna go to Squadette.
Okay, me
Okay.
too.